Happy New Year! Gosh, it's been a while since I've seen you guys, since I've been able to stream. End of the year in December, which my bronchitis kicks up, but I got COVID. I finally got it, what everyone was paranoid about. In and of itself, it's like a really, really bad. Hey, Cage, good morning. Happy New Year to you. Like a really bad flu, killer headache and all that. But when combined with bronchitis, yeah. So I had all sorts of issues. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to stream. It feels good to be back here. Really, really good. So today is drawing. Well, every day is drawing. You're looking because I'm cutting potatoes for dinner. Good for you. You having dinner potatoes or breakfast potatoes? Because I love having breakfast for dinner. Always a good time to have breakfast as far as I'm concerned. So today we're going to work on an article header which is about Terrin, one of my bards in the Wanted Hero world. That if you know anything about what I write, there's a place called Roadkill Tavern. And in that great massive building in the Great Hall, there is a bard that sits in this fancy chair in the back corner by the hearth, and he'll sit there and converse with people, have a glass of wine or hot drink, maybe share a meal. But in the evenings, the tavern floods in with children and other patrons of all different races, come asking questions of Terrin and asking him to tell stories. And so I finally wrote an article about him, and I wanted to do a really nice header. So I've been working on that. I've got my lovely light blue drawing here. Oh, I got my incense going in front of me. I've got my cup of coffee here. Got our tunes going. Now, my glasses. I think I need to put on some better glasses than those. You know, getting older it's quite something. Things that you're accustomed to doing, you can't always do them anymore. Parts of your body start going, yeah, I'm going to take a break today. Like your eyes. You guys, you know what? You guys are kind of fortunate because... So I got smudges on my glasses. You guys are kind of fortunate because I am thinking about well, I'm doing it. I'm not thinking about it. I'm leaving lots of the social media platforms. I've realized that I'm like a lot like a dog. I am so distracted easily by some bouncing ball that goes by me or some squirrel. And I would like to crank out more stories this year. I know I write a lot, but I don't think you guys have ever seen what happens when I actually have the time and the focus. Crazy amounts of work get done. And I'd like to do that this year. I'd like to see how many books I can put out. So part of that is figuring out how to not get so distracted and sucked in, whether it's... Yeah, I'm finding it's not really for me either. I mean, I have most people I know that are on Twitter, and Twitter... I don't know if I just don't know how to do it right or what, but it just seems like most people are mean. I don't care for that. I know Pinterest is really not considered social media, at least what I've read. I love Pinterest because it's, it's a place where I can go and get all sorts of ideas and share ideas, and I love that. And there's no real interaction, live. in your Facebook, there's probably no platform that I hate more, and yet it's been a blessing to my business, but I just don't. I think I'd like to draw back. And so my consideration has been, well, I draw, and so I draw for you guys on Twitch so that I can talk with people, and then I upload things onto YouTube, and I like doing stories on YouTube. So I'll stick with YouTube, stick with Twitch, and I think that's, at this point, I'd like it just to end there. Because I use Pinterest, but that's not something that I interact with other people. I just collect ideas. So, I used to do Instagram all the time. I would like to go back to just storytelling. I really would. So, that's what I'm thinking about. Let me look for one of my sketches of Terrin here. I know I've got... see, I think it's number 4. So, I'm just saying, you guys are... Well, I guess that's a little arrogant now that I think of it. You're lucky, because I'm here spending time with you. Ha ha ha. Okay, I don't know, I guess. You guys gotta tell me whether or not you feel lucky. Facebook has become the business thing. Yeah, well, here's the thing, is Facebook, just like anything else, it's free for a while, and then it's... I refuse... I just refuse to pay to play. I used to be able to dominate so many things because I wrote articles. Everything that I would do online with Google was relevant. It was current. You know, I'd crank out, I don't know, 500 articles a year. I mean, it was insane. And in the categories that I worked, I had like the first 20 pages of Google was usually just me. I was that dedicated. And then it all became about coin and advertising, and you can step in front of other people that were willing to do the hard work. And I just got to the point of, it's just like EverQuest years ago. EverQuest is my favorite online game, not World of Warcraft, though I've played that for longer than I played EverQuest. But I loved EverQuest until one day I went into the bazaar, and I went to make a purchase or to trade, and my screen says you can use your Visa or MasterCard to purchase this item. I paused for a second and went, wait a minute. I'm already paying you $15 a month to play this, and now you're wanting to reach into my wallet? Screw you. And I stopped playing that very day. It was like, a lot of people left. It destroyed. Sony destroyed their game by trying to reach into people's pockets. And it's happening everywhere. And there's lots of people that are just are not willing to play this game, and I'm not either. So I'd rather work on word of mouth, and I'll keep working on that until I can make it happen. So let's see. I don't know if I have the right resolution for this. This looks way too pixelated. Dang it. Did I do this? I do not. What is the resolution on this? Let's see the canvas. Canvas information. Well, that's 300 dpi. Maybe I'm blowing it too big. Physical width. Well, that's why, because it's not as big as it should be. Okay. Alright, we're still good. I guess we'll just have to make this work. Oh, that pixelation bothers me so bad. Okay. I'm gonna have to find a way to fix this. That just bothers me. Okay, so do I need to do a new canvas? I'm thinking I'm gonna need to do a whole new canvas. Let's see. Let's do this. I'm going to copy the canvas, and then I need to do a whole new. Okay, we're gonna do. Oh my goodness. Here's what we'll do. We'll do a standard paper landscape. And we'll do it like this. And then I'm going to paste that in. See how big. Oh my goodness. No, that's so not good. Alright. We'll go like this. And I will cut it and crop it after. That's why. Alright, let's try this. Let's see if this will work better. Oh, so much better. Alright, I gotta do higher resolution. You know what? I like microtransactions. That's not the problem. The problem is forcing that everything costs everything. I mean, and I don't have any problem paying for things, but when you're already paying for something, Cage, I mean, isn't there a game company that's in a lot of trouble, or that people actually hate because they're constantly charging for their games and to play to new levels of the games? I thought my son was telling me about a... Oh, that's way better. I thought there was a game company that, like, was it like EA Games, or I'm not sure. Ah, that looks twisted, doesn't it? EA Games, pay everything. Yeah. And didn't they used to be I don't know a lot about video games and systems and stuff. I mean, I had one of the first PlayStations, but I mean, didn't they used to be a really good and very respectable game company? I don't know, maybe they are. I just keep hearing how so many people are ticked off. Yeah, pay everything. And so it's what gets to me are these companies. It's not just game companies, it's all sorts of companies. To me, it's like I'd pay every few years. I'd pay $1,600 for the Adobe suite of products to buy Photoshop and Illustrator, which I never used, and still I would buy it just in case. And then they went to subscription, so now I got to pay constantly. So now I'm renting, and I was willing to pay that so that I can take it with me. Yeah, the whole subscription thing. It's different when I can understand subscription, like what's that? Was it like Master Class or something like that? When it's an educational thing, I can understand that. In fact, I can understand a subscription to most things. But when it's software, a tool that you're using, I'd like to have an option. Even if this is just what makes sense to me. I'm not saying that I'm right, but just makes sense to me. Is even with Adobe, even now, if I pay $600 and something for a year to use their suite, but I only need 2 programs, What's wrong with me paying the $600 for that year, but it allows me to download those programs and I just don't get the upgrades after that? Why can't I just use a program because it works for me and you buy it? I just hate that they force that, which is why I left Adobe. And I encourage everyone to leave Adobe. I know they have all sorts of programs, but if you're just using Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign, those are the only, which is funny, I don't use Illustrator, but I use InDesign and Photoshop. And I left them. Why? Because my wonderful friends in England said, hey, have you ever heard of a company called Affinity? And I hadn't. I looked it up. I bought, I'm going to look down on my little sidebar here. I bought Affinity Designer, Affinity Publisher, and Affinity Photo, all three that work better than Adobe products. I can do more. They are easier to understand, easier to use, I believe more powerful. I'm having so much fun with them. And during the COVID lockdown stuff, they were selling each of these programs. Now, you own them, mind you, and you get your upgrades for free for $25 a piece. Done. That's a no-brainer. And hey, Adobe, you're gone. You're out of my life, and I feel so much better. And I'm able to spend money on something more important, like, I don't know, an ice cream cone. So, that was an awesome discovery and share from my friends. Thank you, Tillers. So, that was awesome. And there are other programs, people that do that. I give you a great example of one. Because Adobe's starting to sweat with Procreate. I'm using Procreate right now. I use it every single day. Best art program I've ever used. Hello, Craigie. What's up? Not my cholesterol today. I'm feeling really good. How are you feeling today, Craig? Cage says, yeah, I use like 6 or 7 Adobe products, and since I'm a student, I pay $130 for a year subscription. That's fine. If that works for you, and again, if this works for people, that's fine. I mean, I had a friend that worked for Adobe for about a year because then someone bought his contract and moved him to another state. A great programmer. Good, I'm glad you're feeling amazing. But I had a friend that worked for Adobe, and he says, hey, when someone works for Adobe, each year there's a time where they do like they do an offering for their employees. So if the employees want a suite, this is before they went to subscriptions, and a $1,600 goes to show you how much money they make. But a $1,600 package for the suite, I got the suite for $135. And they allow employees to get it, to give it to family and all their friends. This is reality here. Excuse me. There might be a lot of coughing, I'm not sure. Glad you're feeling amazing, Craig. So, me too. Oh, I gotta tell you something that I did yesterday. I did, for the very first time, in like 5 years, did the most exercise that I've ever done. I had a goal, and I didn't know if I could reach it, but I did 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 bent-over rows with 50 pounds, and then a plank. I tried to do it for more than 30 seconds. Oh man, after you do the other sets, you're just shaking so hard on the ground. I can see why they say just do it for 30 seconds. Now, this is specifically from a YouTube channel that I follow that is how to help extremely obese individuals start losing weight and conditioning their body. And so I do 4 exercises, only 4, and that's it. And the guy that teaches this lost like 170 pounds. Now he's doing like bodybuilding, competitions and things like that. He's just awesome. And he's a dad. So it's really exciting to see somebody who is close to my age, within about 10 years, doing all these things. And he says, look, you're going to hit these kinds of walls and this and this and this. And I struggled with all this, but just do these 4 things for the first few months just to activate your body. And I did it. And I did it. I almost stopped at 97, and my body was shaking so hard, and I realized I can't do 3 more, or I thought that for a moment, and I got so mad. I was so mad, and I pushed through it, and I just collapsed on the floor laughing. I was so excited. And then I passed out for like 2 hours. For real. I just went to my bed, put a towel on my pillows because I was sweating so much, and I laid down for a breather just to breathe. Out 2 hours. And I figured that would probably happen, but hey, that is not a problem. He has a serious handlebar mustache, though. All right. Coughing, dang virus. Exercise can help you get rid of that. Wow, 170 pounds. I can send you the channel. Yeah. I will do that after the stream's over. Anyway, and he's really fun to watch too. Whoa! Very encouraging, which I like. Okay, and that's actually the part of his hair. He has very curly hair, wavy hair. You know what? With his hair, as long as it is, I don't think he's really going to have much. What is going on with my hands today? So how many more days do you have, Craig, before retirement? How many days you got left? I'm curious. take his hair out further. Trying to plan it all on this Thursday. Oh, you think you have to wait 3 weeks before you can give notice? Trying to plan it all on this Thursday. Awesome. So in February, basically, you're going to be done in February. Or is that the hope? Don't plan on working any days in February, huh? Honestly, Jamie, how do you survive with so many children? I'm absolutely exhausted after a day of babysitting my nephew. Well, I'm not doing it alone. I mean, my wife does most of that. I mean, I'm here for my kids. I mean, I work from home, so I'm always here, and we help each other. My youngest daughter, oh my goodness, Ruby, she's one, and she has been more of a, oh my goodness, that girl just, she is testing us more than any of our other children. It's crazy. Even the kids have noticed that. Her will is so strong, and every once in a while I can hear from the other room, Jamie, help. And I just shout out, Ruby, go to your mother right now. Yes, Dad. Hear this little squeaky, yes, Dad. And then she complies. She'll obey Dad, but she just wants to fight. So a lot of it too is perspective and how could I put it? It's a skill set. Skill set, Craig. Not Craig, sorry, talking to Cage. It's a skill set. And that's not right, is it? Why does all this feel wrong? Let's just work on the other ones instead. Let's work on these kids. Maybe I just need to do this bigger. Neither was I. Me and my mom are babysitting him. My battery has been completely depleted. I guess the older kids can help with the younger kids. Oh yeah, all of my children help. It's funny because my next oldest is only 6, and Roman, he's the boy that's always running around. If you look at my other YouTube channel with my family, he's just always running around with a sword and wanting to be a warrior, and fighting invisible monsters and stuff like that. And he's just a hilarious little kid. But he likes his movies. He likes his, like Dragon Hunters and things like that. And his sister, Ruby, will come in and see what he's watching and how into it he is. And then she'll go over and she'll insist to go and sit in his lap or sit next to him and just kind of lean against him. And he is so sweet. He just puts his arm out, and she'll go and she'll literally put her head under and snuggle under his arm. So he's got his arm around her, and then she'll just lie there. And she'll watch cartoons with him for hours and not move. And I'll walk into the room. Are you watching cartoons with your brother? And she says, uh-huh. And she just stays there. Or if he gets hurt, she's really concerned. She'll go over and she'll put her hand on his arm and then put her head down on his shoulder. And she say, "You okay? You okay?" And anyone who's feeling down, she has this perfect timing of walking up and saying, "I love you." So, all right. Children are wonderful. They are such a blessing. I don't know why anyone would not want to be a parent. I just don't. It's beyond me. And I'm one of those people that, you don't want a child, fine, I'll take them. Sometimes I wish my resources were such and my age and everything were such that I could just go scoop up a whole bunch of kids that are just not loved and taken care of. And I'm not talking about people who are struggling. I'm talking about actually abusive individuals. And you abuse a child and there's nothing I can think of that I hate more. So, children should be protected. They should be cherished. So, here's the thing. I've never met a parent that didn't want the best for their children. They don't necessarily know how to provide that. And they might not have the skill sets. Doesn't mean they don't want that for their children. And they try. Even parents that are in jail, they want the best for their children. But not everyone has the tool set. Not everyone has the natural inclination. I mean, I had to learn everything, just like everybody else. There's also people who they start working with their children or raising children, they realize they have to sacrifice more than they thought they did. I'm not talking about to get the latest PlayStation. I'm talking about when things don't go well. I'm talking about being there for your kids and having to put your own ideas and dreams and things on the back burner until they're up and off on their own. A lot of people are not willing to do that. Thing is if you've had those children and you don't take care of them, yeah, no respect there. So many, I don't know, so many things about life that I wonder sometimes if people really, truly think about what's going on. A little person that depends on you, that loves you, that loves you no matter who you are, no matter what, where you've been, where you come from, no matter what you look like. You know, that just loves you. How awesome is that? I made a comment in church a couple days ago. Made some of the guys laugh. We were talking about our wives. Big room full of just guys. And it was funny, we're sitting there and I'm talking about how wonderful I thought my wife was and how awesome it is. I says, we need to be more humble and more grateful. I mean, be men, but be more humble and grateful, because these beautiful, wonderful women love us. And I turned to everybody. There had been like 70 to 100 guys there in the room. And I turned around and I says, and I know a lot of you, and I'm telling you, yeah, if a woman is loving you, you're flipping lucky. Because I know you, and it's like, dude, get a clue. And they just started laughing. Some of us are some serious turds, man. So, be grateful for what we have. Isn't that funny how little lines like this can just reveal and clarify what something is? Little girls' hair tied up in a little bun, messy bun. Yeah, I'm gonna end up redoing his face, that's for sure. That just really disturbs me. Does not look like it should. Maybe I'll change it in pencil first. So, Cage, how was your Christmas and your New Year's? Quiet? So not with your nephew. We had my sister over for Christmas. Well, that'd be nice. Hopefully you like and get along with your sister. You never know. Make these statements. We're a very close-knit family. So, I cannot assume with anybody else. And when my sis came over, we also had my nephew, obviously, but it wasn't too too tiring. Oh, good. I'm glad you love your sister. Good, good, good. Family's so important. Would also love to duct tape her to the ceiling every now and then. She younger or older than you? Three and a half years older. No, not that big of a shadow. Gotta run, trying to get so sad out of Mexico today. Alright. Love you, buddy. Appreciate you, little brother. Talk to you soon. Alright. Excuse me. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's see. Get the crowd of the kids there. It'll fill in well once we get the color. And there's my baby crying. She wants her older sister. Okay. Got all the kids. I got all the kids. Alright. Oh, let's see. Maybe we should do... Let's see. Let's take that. We'll do the technical pencil. And I'm thinking I need to... Let me rework this a bit. I will rework the pencil. So I think a few things. I think is forehead's too tall. Hey, Questmaster, how are you today, bud? How are your holidays? I'm gonna work his whole face here. I'm doing pretty good. Oh, I'm glad your holidays were great. Mine as well. And my kids and my grandkids. For as sick as I was, I'll tell you, I feel so blessed. It was such a wonderful holiday. Wonderful Christmas. Just wonderful. All right, Cage. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Have a nice dinner. Say hi to your mom. Oh, yeah. Holidays were awesome. Holidays were absolutely awesome. Maybe you should be looking at the kid right below. It's nice having time to watch the full Hobbit movie, extended scenes included. Oh, yeah, we did that too. That and Lord of the Rings. Of course, we are always ready to do a movie marathon of Hobbit or Lord of the Rings around here. Seems to be only two sets of movies that none of us get tired of, so it's kind of fun. So, didn't you enjoy it? Did you enjoy all the extended scenes? As I sure did. You know, there's one thing that I never could understand, and I think Hollywood completely screwed up on. It's making Galadriel like some sick, I don't know, abomination when she uses her power. Make her all wilted and gross and everything when she's supposed to be a being of light. And I'm like, you guys in Hollywood are freaking twisted, because she should be beaming with light and be beautiful. I mean, I can understand her turning that way in Lord of the Rings, because she's resisting the evil power. But when she's using her power, or the power of the stars and light, she should be, beautiful and inspiring and hope, creating hope and strength, not look like some swamp creature. Yeah. All my kids are like, what is her problem? Exactly. She looks more like a demon when she uses her power. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway. That's crazy. So did you do much on, did you participate in World Ember this year? Doing your maps and stuff like that? I'm just curious. Map Ember. I thought about trying that this year, but I really get stressed when it comes to maps. I did buy for myself for a Christmas present. I bought Dungeon Draft. So that was kind of fun. I kind of played with that a little bit, and that was fun. So I felt good enough about playing with it that I'm gonna. I plan on taking some of my notes and creating some of the buildings that I talk about all the time that I have articles for. So now I can do the building diagrams, which is really nice. So that'll be fun. So that was one of my fun things for Christmas. And I've got a new iPad with 5 times the memory coming to me by the end of this month, because I asked for custom engraving. Anyway, so that'll be nice. I do. I have Incarnate Pro as well, and I struggle with any of the map programs. They're a bit challenging to use for me, just because they don't work the way that I think. So I'm not saying, anyone who watches this, I'm not saying that the programs are hard. They're really not hard. It's just not the way that I think. And so I have a lot of fun with Incarnate. I mean, it has some really beautiful, beautiful results. In fact, I've got some maps that I've done and then downloaded. But it's just because I draw, because I'm an artist, for some reason, every time I use any of the map software and I look at the final result, I'm always disappointed, because I look at it and say, that's not me. That's not me. But I don't want to take the time to do all the maps and to, I don't know. There's just a conflict. So what I'm thinking about doing is using until Deos comes out. I don't know. Do you have Dungeon Fog? I have Dungeon Fog. I have the highest level of Dungeon Fog. I have Incarnate Pro. I have, let me find out here. I've got, let's see, I'm looking at my bar here. I've got Wonder Draft, Dungeon Draft, Flowscape, and then I have Incarnate Pro, and I have Dungeon Fog. And then I bought the Deos when they did the Kickstarter. I bought a what was it? I bought a commercial lifetime account for that. So I know it's probably going to be another year and a half before I'm even able to use it. I haven't been able to try it because they don't have the Mac version, and I'm waiting for that. But that's okay. I figure I'm hoping that it will tie into World Anvil. But even if it doesn't, it's okay. Just want some good options. All right. I think that's a little bit better. Maybe we should do a little bit of the. Maybe we should do the background. Let's do a little bit of the background first. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to click that to black. Technical pen. Do this in the background, that way I can erase. Erase what we don't need. Okay, we don't need that any further. Let's see. Oh, I need to look up. I need to look something up. Wait. I need to look up what it looks. Nope. I need to go to the Höbin. Okay, let's see. Where's Höbin? There we go. That's a straight. Okay. Because that's the hearth right there. So I need to fix that. Okay. I'm going to copy the canvas. Go back up here. Paste. I only need that. Okay. Just to see. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of programs, but I mean, when it comes to, because this, you gotta remember, this isn't a hobby for me. This is work. So all of those are business expenses. And I just, like I said, I just got myself a new iPad. It's on its way, and then new Apple Pencil. And then I have a top-notch account with World Anvil, and I mean, all of these are all business expenses. You got to have the right programs to do the job. And since I wasn't sure, I needed to play with everything. I really did. And I like the results a little bit from each one. None of them do everything. The one thing that I like the idea of that I haven't tried yet with Wonder Draft or Dungeon Draft, but with Wonder Draft, is that you're supposed to be able to import your own assets. So I could make my own mountains, my own trees, and things like that, which actually would be really helpful. Because then I could do my own maps, and they would look like my style. And it's funny because my style when I'm doing maps that I prefer is very, very close to, the really nice old hand-drawn with the brown inks of Middle Earth. That it has and it looks like it's on old parchment. That's the kind of feel that I'm usually looking for. So, I want Deos, but I'm not sure about it yet. Well, I mean, it's all taking a chance. I paid, I can't remember, close to $1,000 for that, for the account. But even if it does half the things that it says, and I mean, they're going to keep improving upon it, it's going to be one of the best things ever. And I talked to them up front before I bought it. I talked to, is it Till? Who's the creator of it from Austria. Anyway, I talked with him through Discord, and I asked him if there was the intent of allowing me to do my own assets. Now that interests me. And then I talked with, gosh, who's that really neat map maker that does the things for World Anvil? Is it Kaora? I don't know him well. I don't know him at all. But I mean, I'm not. Since I'm an artist, I don't usually follow too many artists. But I know he's good friends with Janet and Dimitri of World Anvil. But I did talk with him, also on Discord, and I think through one of his streams. And he was showing people, he just flat out told me that he would show me, but he's already shown people how to do their own, how to prep the files and make the right kind of files for your own assets with Deos. That flat out sold me. I forked out the money immediately. Yeah, I think I grabbed the second to last or last commercial lifetime license, but that'll allow me to take not only and put it on World Anvil, but now any maps that I make, I can also take. I own all the copyrights to them, and I can put them in print, which means I get to put them in my books. That's just awesome. So eventually what I'll work towards creating my own assets there, and what I'll do is I'll just look at Kaora's assets that come with it, and I'll just make my version of each one of those things in my own style. I mean, that's the most logical way that I can think of doing it. And then be able to use Deos with my own stuff. I mean, I can't think how it could get any better than that. The automatic population, and I mean, all the features that they're talking about, but with your own style, that's brilliant. So that's what I feel like doing. And I don't want to spend $100 on something that doesn't work fully yet. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I respect that, but I've done a lot of things that were in, supported someone and getting a special deal. I mean, think about World Anvil. World Anvil has actually not been released as a finished product yet. Do you realize that? So, if you're paying for World Anvil, any of their tiers, you're already supporting something that's still being created. And I've never been a part of something as awesome as World Anvil. Nothing, not even close. I mean, the additions that are created almost on a daily basis, World Anvil is off the charts. So, next to my own brain, as a tool, I recommend World Anvil more than anything else. So, as a world building software, so just awesome. As long as you can earn the money you can spend on the software back through your businesses. Yep, that's exactly what I do. So I spend this, I make things, I make book sales, I make game sales. And people have started signing up monthly for WantedHero.com because I got so much material there, and I work on it every single day. So there's always more material. So, ta-da! You can do the same thing with Incarnate. They are. Oh, can you upload? You mean you can upload your own? You can upload your own assets to Incarnate? 'Cause that would be cool. No problem, bud. Go have lunch. Have fun. We'll see you later. All right. Alright, so that has a rounded part. Alright, so... Hello, Tillers! How are you, my friend? Nice to see you showing up here. It's nice to be streaming and drawing again. How's your day going? Or evening going, I should say. Hello, Langna. How are you, my dear? So good to see you. Yes, drawing all the things. I'm actually drawing something that I had so much fun. I don't know if you saw, so I started well, I was timing myself the very last 24 hours of World Ember, but I only gave myself to midnight because being sick, there's no way I could have gone past midnight. So I had 10 hours. So I tried to do the 10,000 words in 10 hours. And if I was just writing a book, I'd get that done in an hour. Because you're just in a flow, but trying to create different subject matter and think about and all that was hard. Anyway, I got to 73%, something like that, completed, and it's like 20 minutes to midnight, and I'm like, my wife comes in, she's like, sweetheart, I'm going to bed. She says, how close are you? I was like, I'm like 73%. I don't know if I can do this. And she says, but you're going to try, aren't you? And I said, yeah. Because I don't want to say that I can't do it until the time's out and you're like, you can't do it. So I got to 104.2% at 3 minutes to midnight. So I was like, oh. So I get a participation badge. That's all I wanted this year. So it was awesome. Location continuity fancy. Yes. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to do... I just wanted to make sure that it was the same... Because that's the same hearth. This is the same hearth. This is in Roadkill Tavern. So I just wanted to make sure I had the same setup there in this picture. So I could be consistent. I did. And anyway, so I was so excited that I actually got that done. I was so excited. Anyway, that was like my big yay. That's what I was hoping for Christmas, was to be able to get a participation badge. So, in real life, I think I wrote probably about 75,000 words. but it's just not something that goes, oh no. Oh no, did I... Wait a minute, what? Oh, that's not bad. Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay, I thought I put something on the wrong... I thought I put something on the wrong layer. Anyway. I know I'm watching. Everybody was so productive. Langna, I watched bits and pieces when I would pop in and try to catch up in conversations. You didn't do squad? But I thought someone was saying that you were making a lot of something. I don't know, maybe I misunderstood the conversation. Geartrud and Margot articles, for example. Aw. Did you do more sheets as well? I'm totally curious about that. Aren't you at like 29 sheets or something like that? Oh yes, I made a lot, but none of it was world building. Oh. Well, that's right. Being productive is being productive. So, but if you are game this year, I'm hoping you and I can work together and make some fun things. And I can't say anything right now, but something might have happened yesterday that is going to change everything for me. And I'm not going to say anything until I know it's for sure, because it might not be. But that's just as far as I'm going to go. A flat out, no holds barred miracle happened yesterday. And I'll need about a week to find out if it's real or not. But if it's real, I'm going to have one hell of a story to tell. Because I had nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. But it all wraps around Wanted Hero, and I am pumped. So, we'll see. We will see. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to blue and pencil. And let's make sure that I draw those stones here. No sheets, only helping a bit with custom sheet for someone who actually paying you for it? That's sweet. Wow. Whoa. Langna, you made over 600 articles? But even if it's story, that's amazing. Wow. That's impressive. That's really, really impressive. Coming from the Psycho writer. That's so impressive. Did I ask you how your Christmas was, Lena? And your New Year's? I don't think I did. How were your holidays? And if I did and I'm asking again, it's just because I care about you. My brain... part of the sickness has been just brain fog. So bad. I just can't seem to recall what I've done and how I've done it. All right. New class, Psycho Writer. It's true. You did 24 sheets and 18 stat blocks. Okay, wait, okay, explain something to me, Tillers. What's the difference between a sheet and a stat block? I thought a sheet was where you use the stat blocks. Isn't that what? This is why I stay away from it. I still don't get how these things work. Yeah. They were alright. I have no idea if you did or not. I understand, Brave Fox. No worry. Thank you. It can get embarrassing sometimes because you're not sure what you've said to people, and you mean well. You really mean well. So, alright. Alright, let's see. Now I need to go to this. Okay, we're gonna do some eraser here. Let's get rid of that. Alright. There we go. That's going to be darkened anyway. Alright. Now we're back to... I think we're going to go like this. Let's put those together. Gotta rename that inks. Okay. Sheets are just overly complicated stat blocks. So make like 24 complicated stat blocks and 18 easier ones, like for spells or races or items. So, okay, then explain to me, what is it that the stat blocks do on World Anvil? Is this one of those things that you can go and like press a button and roll and it fills? Is that what you use them for? Because I'm trying to understand what they're used for. Because I'm getting to a point, I've got scheduled time that I'll be writing every day, which I've been sticking to, and then I'll be spending 60 to 90 minutes every day dedicated to writing more content every day on World Amber. Amber. Oh gosh. Time to take a nap. World Anvil. On my world. And I think it would be awesome if I get to a point. No, I'm not focusing on it at all, but to get to a point this year where I can start doing games, converting it to games. You fill them in via a form and then use it on the player DM screen to gameplay with buttons to roll dice. Oh. Huh. So this is so that you can play with people like over the internet, over Discord or something like that. So you all have things on your screen and can play that way. So that sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's a replacement for the paper sheets where you fill in your stats for your hero. That makes sense. That's very cool then. So you're making player sheets. Wow. So are you making them for different games? I'm just curious why you're making so many of them. Are they for your game or for the different games that World Anvil has or supports? for all game systems out there. This one for Star Trek Adventures. I have never played that. It's funny, I would love to try a Star Trek RPG, and I would really love to find someone who plays a Doctor Who RPG. Those are two I really am interested in. Pretty much if enough people pout that their game isn't supported yet, Tiller swoops in like Super Bunny and does all the things. Well, when I get to the point that I'm ready to make Wanted Hero as a game, I know who to pout to. uh, well, it's good to see both of you, and I'm hoping to be back a little bit more. That doesn't work. I guess that can make that a glass, I guess. Actually, let's see. Soft brush. Frosted glass. Hmm. Trying to be fancy. Sometimes I have a hard time with this, though. I prefer lion or dragon claw legs in real life on furniture. When we first moved to this state, my dad had like $2.5–3 million worth of antiques that he had to put into a storage unit. Oh, we never did find a house. Never did find a house that had tall enough ceilings to put the antiques that my father and my mother bought together. And my mom was killed in a car accident, and all their furniture that they bought together rotted for 15 years. And the moisture changes and everything just destroyed all of it. So sad. Beautiful furniture. Beautiful, beautiful furniture. So, it's very sad. One of my dreams is, it'd be so cool when I build my house. She got the first stage of things approved, so now I need to have the plans drawn up by an architect. And one of my dreams is I have my office all planned out in this house, and what I'm excited about is it'll all be soundproofed, and then I will have a great big sound recording studio, so I can do my audiobooks, I can do streams, I can do whatever it is that I want. But the whole office itself will also be soundproofed, but then also have a sound studio in their dedicated sound studio. But one of the things in the main office, I have always wanted to just go find an antique writer's desk. With like a leather top, all that. So I don't know if that'll happen, but I'm going to keep my eyes out. I keep looking for it, and I mean, that would be so awesome to have a writer's desk. My dad always had a dream when I was young. His dream was to have a partner's desk. It's really thick and it's double-sided. And he wanted to put that in the office because he had always hoped that when I grew up that we'd be partners and we worked together. I always thought that was a beautiful, beautiful thought. I know. I know. I wonder why that is. Why we yearn for the older furniture and things. You know, I've got several sisters that they have a side business that they antique or refurbish old things. They live up in Montana, and they refurbish old things, and they sell it through Facebook, and they have tons of clients. You know, wealthy people building log cabins and stuff like that, and they find old discarded things and remake them and refinish them and antique them and sell them for quite a bit. Not everyone does. I think it's just some do and some don't. Well, that's with everything, though. You're right. You're right. Our grandparents probably would have given everything for some ergonomic furniture that didn't give them back pain. I think you're probably right. But older stuff was built to last and with some intense craftsmanship. That's one of the things that I love about it. I agree. And you know what? To add to your point, Lena, you know, when we build, I'm going to want to furnish the house. And I told Kathy Lynn, I says, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for indestructible furniture. I'm going to have a custom dining room and custom chairs made so I can have all my family around at the same time. And we're talking about 20, 30 chairs around one table, one solid, thick table made of a tree, so we can all sit together, you know, during our time together when my kids, my grandkids come to my home. I told her, I says, I want to find furniture that is indestructible so that my grandkids can't, and my younger kids, they really don't do things, but my grandkids, so they don't destroy my house. You know, I want them to be able to come, and while we're teaching them manners, I don't want them to destroy everything that I own. I never did understand that when my dad would say that to me. And now that I'm a father and grandfather myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, I know what my dad meant. I have to sacrifice everything I own for the sake of the little kids. And I don't want to. Not in my very first built house. No, I want to make it so that the kids are going to like bounce off them. So that's the goal anyway. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that. Looks like we're coming to the end of the stream here. Kids are the worst and the best in the same package. As long as you add that and the best in there, I'll agree with you. So, I don't know. My dad was always funny because we were well-mannered. My mom and my dad taught us well, me and my siblings. So my dad would take us out a lot. And it's funny, he'd always have this old couple come up and go, oh, you're the most beautiful children. They're so well-behaved. My dad, without missing a beat, he'd look at him and say, thank you so much. He says, yes, I'd like to take them everywhere. And then he'd pause and he'd say, but for some strange reason, they always seem to find their way home again. I always love that. I've said that myself, and it really makes old people go, it's just funny. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate coming visiting. I'm glad to be streaming again. I'll be streaming this again on Thursday, so I will leave this be. I might ink things in so that we can just do color. That might be fun. But I'm off to write. I'm off to make some fun stories. And to find out, hopefully this week, if this miracle is real. So, all right. You guys have an awesome day. And like I said, thank you for coming and joining me. And I will get some stuff uploaded to YouTube. Ha! Remember, if you've watched this stream, come to WantedHero.com. Check out what we're doing. Go to worldanvil.com. If you are a creator, a writer, a gamer, and you are creating things, meaning your world building, No better platform, no better tool to use to collect and organize and share your material than World Anvil. So go to WantedHero.com. So, all right, guys, we'll see you.
Come to Wanted.com. Come to come to WantedHero.com.
Almost.
Come to my dad's website and buy a book. All our books. At WantedHero.com.